Okay. Everything's working. Desktop audio. Oh, for feck's sake. Nee, ik weet niet. Het is maar ik niet zeg, joh. Okay.
Ma vero ftit.
Can I charge issa?
Yes.
Okay, good. Perfect. Perfectino. We are back in business. Okay, so hello Zvidux. I want to bring you here today because today is my 8th year anniversary in the good old year of 2023 when my very first video, Minecraft episode 1, was officially published out into the world. Obviously, as you've known me since day one of my YouTube career, you've known how much I've changed, both my body, both in mind, both in education, and both my life story and stuff like that, and even net worth wise. And if you and I would really like it to maybe in the future, maybe even discuss the path I went through as in my life in general, and maybe I can post on YouTube. But obviously, it depends on if the public would want to see that. So right. And I was curious now that the fact that I'm 20 years old, right? I'm really curious because now I'm in the right age demographic where lots of social media and the news are trying to aim at me to say what to see they can lure you guys into political parties or not, right? I am not doing this, right, just to preach like, oh, everyone should be left, everyone should be right, everyone should be authoritarian or liberal. I am not saying that at all. What I'm basically going to try and do is, out of pure curiosity, after doing this 6-page political compass test, which has been going on for apparently 22 years, which is honestly pretty impressive, to just see what I will be, right? Well, Zvidux did before, and Zvidux, do you mind telling us exactly what you got?
I was kidnapped to be here.
No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up. Okay. If you say that shit again, you don't deserve any of your fucking treats. Understand? No, don't worry, I'll screw you. Shut the fuck up. As I was saying, okay, what did you get on your political compass test?
I got central because I don't give a damn about anything.
Legit, my boy, legit got like minus 0.5 to the left when it came to economic diplomacy. So super central socialist, center left, but also super central
I was kidnapped.
offer liberal, so super middle, he's very mid, and I'm gonna try from my part, right, to see if I will be the same, because I want to see myself. Okay, so let's begin. First one: if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Okay, so let's think about it this way, right? What do we mean by that exactly, right? Because economic globalization can be many things. It could be, for example, a company like BlackRock or like Vanguard, which can control a huge portion of the economy and own trillions of dollars worth of assets, right? So basically, there are many things you can technically identify, right, as left or right wing or things like that, correct? But if there were a company that was like super big, right, and the money had to go somewhere, honestly, yeah, I would like it to be in favor of the people, obviously, because obviously if you're paying taxes and all stuff like that, inherently, if you think about humanity, and humanity will be able to pay for the companies to produce good products and make everything better. Okay, so I agree on that. Second one is I'd always support my country whether it is right or wrong. I do not agree with that. Right? What do you mean by right or wrong? You know what I mean, Zvidux? Like, right or wrong could mean many things, right? It could be like, okay, my country thinks that haggis tastes like shit, or like someone in blew up because the government didn't like what a reporter said, things like that, right? No, I don't disagree. I don't agree that I should agree with a country where it's completely wrong and I think it's bullshit, right? So I strongly disagree on that. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I don't think that's the case. I think to be born and have the opportunity to live in a country, you should have the right to be proud of it or not. So it's a bit of a middle thing. But at the same time, if you migrate to a country, if your parents migrate to a country, you were born there, you should be proud to be there because that gave your parents the opportunity to move there and to enjoy. It's variable. But in my opinion, it's not foolish. I strongly disagree. Right? Our race has superior qualities compared with other races. What the hell is that supposed to mean? That's just like outright fucking racist as hell. I don't know who the hell fucking wrote this test, but that's stupid as hell. I disagree. Right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. What do you mean by that exactly? Right? Like Zvidux. Zvidux. Do you think the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
I don't know. Are they?
Interesting. Like someone like punched me in the face, but if his enemy punched him in the face, should I be that person's friend?
Do
Yeah.
you agree with them or not?
I totally agree with them. Fuck yeah. Strongly. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. What do you mean by that? As in, for example, you have to break a few eggs to fuck up to but it depends on the situation, right? Because let's say another country is doing the same and you have to compete with them and win so you don't fuck it. Yeah, I agree. It depends on the situation, right? If someone's committing war crimes, I'm not saying you can commit war crimes, but then you have to find some ways to win so then no more war crimes can be done, no matter what it is. You have to do your job, right? There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Okay. It does make sense. A lot of people who are quote unquote political and they do quote unquote debates, and honestly they don't do any difference because there's a bunch of people bickering and no one understands what they're actually believing in. No one knows what their policies are. No one knows what they're actually thinking about. And as someone who's like as like what the both of us are, who are in the late teens, early 20s, maybe even someone who's even reaching to into the early 30s, right? There isn't enough media, in my opinion, that teaches people about what policies there are to choose from, especially in the Maltese political market, right? So at the same time, it is best to just try and find more sorts of media that give the information without need to be like overly saturated with entertainment. You're there to produce information to people so people can learn. If you need entertainment for people to learn, that's okay, but don't try and overstate entertainment for information. So I strongly agree on that, right? Page 2. People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. Depends. It depends on where you're at, because like for example in South Africa there's a lot of struggles when it comes to race, right? But at the same time, lots of places it's more like rich against poor, right? Even though it's mostly the poor complain about the rich. So yeah, I completely agree with that, right? Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. That makes sense, right? Let's say Ms. Zvidux, right? In your opinion, let's say you were hello, Zvidux. Hello, you hear me, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you left me, nah? I thought you escaped. Shit. Okay,
Well,
good.
I watch an anime.
Damn, you're watching the good stuff, man. Damn. As I was saying, right? Controlling inflation makes more sense in my opinion, because technically, if you can control inflation, you can control unemployment at the same time, right? Because
That is what I said. Yes.
yes, it makes sense. Because if you have high interest rates, plus people are willing to invest, less investment means less jobs, and less jobs means more unemployment. So technically, yes, I strongly agree on that. Okay, because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the environment. Give me diesel. From each accordingly to his ability, to each according to his need. What's that? What the hell does this mean? I'm gonna be honest with you, guys. Is this like a communist quote? I don't mind if it is. It doesn't make sense in my opinion, okay? So, the principle refers to free access to and distribution of goods, capital, and services. In the Marxist view, such an arrangement will be made possible by the abundance of goods and services that our developed communist system will be capable to produce. The idea is that with the full development of socialism and unfettered productive forces, there will be enough to satisfy everyone's needs. Not really, because if it's just done by the state, it's not going to be as like precise as if it was done privately, for example, because obviously people are choosing and varying, right? I'm not saying the government doesn't know what they're doing most of the time, but you can't trust the government for making everything, because they're not going to be able to do it by themselves without it collapsing on itself, right? Just like look at the Soviet Union, like look what happened to them, you know. So I disagree on that, right? The freer the market, the freer the people. It makes lots of sense. The more businesses you have, the more people are willing to choose what they want to buy, how much they want to pay, what they want to do with their money and everything. So I strongly agree on that. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now are bottled and branded consumer. Not really. Because at the same time, you have the choice to buy it or drink from the tap. So no. Unless it's illegal to like get it for free, like in Italy you can get water for free completely. You go to one of the fountains, get free water, like that makes complete sense, right? You have the choice to either buy bottled water, take tap, or take free from the fountains, right? Which I believe it should be more like that, right? But obviously they have lots of fountains and Malta doesn't. Okay, that's just the general gist of it. Okay, but no, I don't think it's that. I strongly disagree on that. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought or sold. This is another thing. I don't think that makes any fucking sense, right? It depends on the situation. If it's a public garden, then fine, it's perfectly fine. But if you work your butt off, right? You pay, you agreed on something, and therefore that land is yours, right? I don't think the government should own everything, right? You should own your own land. You should make your own products. You should. No, I strongly disagree on that completely, right? It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing. No, it's the. What do you mean by manipulate money? In the stock market, cryptocurrency. Like, technically, the rich contribute more to society than the poor, because the rich make jobs, they buy more expensive products, which means higher taxes to be paid. So no, I just completely disagree on that, right? Protectionism is sometimes necessary for trade, so basically they mean by high tariffs for products outside of the. No, it makes sense, yeah. To decrease unemployment, in my opinion, you need to add tariffs to foreign products to encourage companies to start producing in the country you want to do. So let's say if Toyota, right now Toyota Yaris, I believe it's about 20,000 euros, brand new, right? If you added a tariff which was like 50%, right? The car would go for 20 to 30,000. So then to encourage more, let's say for example Michael De Bono buys the license to build Toyota Yaris cars to avoid the tariff. That makes more sense because you're producing more jobs, you're producing more taxes directly to the government, which produces a better economy and produces less debt for the government, right? Even though the Maltese government's debt from 2019 to 2023 has increased by 10 percentage points, which is fucking ridiculous. But that's my opinion, right? But yeah, I do agree it's important. The social responsibility of a company should be able to deliver a profit. No, I don't think it's the only social responsibility. Like, it should give a good working environment. It should be able to provide a good product to its consumers, which is the reason why they're getting profit to its shareholders, right? So no, I disagree on that, right? The rich are too highly taxed. I completely agree, right? It's not fair that because you make like 20,000, you pay the maximum of 15% income tax, and then when you get a company, you have to pay 35% corporate tax in Malta, for example. or like in some cases, in some countries, you pay 55% income tax, even 60, like the Ivory Coast, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? Or even worse than that, there are places, for example, where you pay 80% inheritance tax, which is fucking stupid, right? They worked hard for their money. Why should the government take from that shit, man? It's literally like saying I made lunch, but someone else ate half of it. It's not fair, right? Just because I made a better lunch than you and I made a more lunch doesn't mean I have to give it to someone else. You can kiss my fucking ass. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. No, hell no. So I totally agree that they're being too highly taxed. I think everyone should pay the same amount, right? And that's it, okay? So we have real fairity, okay? I'm not saying everyone should pay 100. No, I'm not. And at the same time, right? Zvidux, did you know that in the 1970s, right? Stockholm, right? So in Sweden they paid like 102% income tax maximum. So literally, if you made $100 over the specified amount, right? Basically, when you pay more than when you made more than a specific amount of money, you have to pay all of that money plus an extra 2%, which I think is stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid, right? So yeah, totally disagree, right? Those with the ability to pay should have no. I think everyone should have good quality healthcare. And if you pay more, it's because you're paying more for your pensions, you know, things like that, right? I believe like the social security contributions in Malta is way too low. I believe social security contributions should reach up to a quarter, so people who are making up to €250,000, and increase the retirement pension, maximum retirement pension to 39,000 or 40,000 euros a year, right? I would want like more, like most of the abandoned hospitals like revamped and things like that. So yeah, I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. Government should penalize businesses that are misled the public. Strongly agree on that. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. I agree on that. Zvidux. What anime are you watching?
Anime.
What anime are you watching, sir? I'm asking you what anime you're watching. You gotta tell me now. I know it's supposed to be me doing the political compass test, but you at least gotta tell me what anime you're watching, bro. Cause you seem really interested. I'm just saying.
I don't but watch the anime.
You gotta watch the anime. Well, what? Apparently,
Yes.
I just checked a little bit on my live stream. It's telling me that I'm playing Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. What?
Anime is
Anime? Wow, anime! I can't even believe that. As I was saying. Oh, this is getting really touchy. Abortion. When the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Okay. I'm gonna say my opinion. And my opinion only, okay? Technically, it counts as murder, in my opinion. But people have the right. But at the same time, it's my opinion, so fuck it, you know? All authority should be questioned. I strongly agree. Strongly agree. Extremely. Right? If someone makes a mistake, we should be able to judge it and see how the person could have done it. And we should not let them get away with it.
Diddly, corruption, diddly.
Yes, boom, 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 definitely boom, boom, you know? An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, right? Yeah, makes sense. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial. No, listen, right? We should know more about our culture. Our country, right, has thousands of years of history, if not millions, right? And we have such a rich culture, right? What do you mean by theaters and museums? Like, for example, if you have the museum about Manuel de Mec, if you have a museum, for example, about Maltese history, Maltese policing, Maltese cultural history, Maltese living history, Maltese economic history, Maltese things like that. They actually teach us more about ourselves, right? Not like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. That's a banana taped to the wall. No, we should not support that. Or theaters that like, for example, do like Shakespeare and great theater, or if like Joey, like, you know, Freddie Portelli stuff, you know, right? Not like these, like, oh my god, I'm gonna do like a theater show for like dogs, and that's like gonna be totally cool. Like, no, I don't think it should be on a commercial basis. It should be based on what they're actually learning and what they're actually teaching. So no, I strongly disagree on this, right? Schools should not make classroom attendance on compulsory. I agree on it, honestly, because there are students that could spend more time on things more important than just classroom attendance, right? All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people keep to their own kind. I strongly disagree. Like, what the fuck? Good parents sometimes have to spank their... I strongly agree. No, not just spank, right? There are some little shits, right, that deserve to get their ass kicked. I'm saying like roundhouse fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Boom! Smash him, right? Like some little shits like punching you in the balls, right? Back in the old days, right, you could smack someone else's kid for doing something wrong, right? Nowadays, if a teacher, right, tells a student to stop being a little shit, right, she can get sued, okay? That is just bullshit, right? If the teacher can't discipline the kid, let the parents discipline the kid with a bit of a fucking boom! Beat his ass, you know? It is natural for children to keep secrets. Yeah, strongly agree. It's natural. There are things that parents should know. That's life. Nothing else to say. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Disagree. No, what the fuck am I saying? No, I agree. Misunderstood that, yeah. The prime function of schooling should be able to... That's true, but also the school should be able to teach us how we should pay taxes, policies, and things like that, so we can actually know what we're choosing for, what we should believe in, critical theory. They're like, oh my god, critical theory, like my hair is pink, so that means I'm a Scorpio, and like, no. But like things like, why do we choose our policies, how the government works, how we should pay our taxes, why do we pay our taxes, what they're actually there for, like things like that, yeah. I believe we should be doing that completely, right? That the prime function is to create jobs, right? People with serious inheritable diseases should not be allowed to reproduce. I strongly disagree. Listen, mate. If you have a disease, I don't give a shit. If you can stick your dick in it, or scissor, or sword fight, I don't give a fuck. Have fun, okay? The most important thing for children is to learn to accept discipline. Strongly disagree, right? You have to respect people, not discipline. What do I mean by that? You should be able to respect one another, but when discipline becomes abusive, you should just get out of it and become yourself, right? If you did nothing wrong and you have to be disciplined, that's not right. If you were disciplined for doing something wrong, then yes, you should accept it. So it's a sort of middle thing, right? It depends on the situation. But I disagree, because no, not all discipline should be respected, right? You have to respect people, not discipline, okay? There's no savage and civilized peoples. Okay, now this is a bit touching, right? What do we mean by savage and civilized? Like, technically, right? There are cannibals, right? There are rapists, right? So, there are savage people, but it's not race-based. It's mental. Like, if you're a murderer, if you're a rapist, if you fuck kids, then you're a savage, right? You're not civilized at all. So yeah, I disagree. Those who are able to work, who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect. Yeah, exactly, and they should pay. They should pay. I strongly agree. Fuck them. When you are troubled, it's better to not think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. What do you mean by that? For example, if you're in debt, like Dave Ramsey says, do whatever you can to pay your debts, right? So, depends. It should be a middle thing. I agree. At the same time, you need to be cheerful to be able to push things through, right? First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within. No, I don't believe that. If you work, if you live here, you pay taxes. You live. If you live a civilized matter and things like that, right? Then therefore you any though, let's say for example, right, an Indian person or a French person comes to, let's say a French person and an Indian person came to Malta, right, to give point into perspective, right? If the Indian person came to Malta, pays rent, pays taxes, works really hard, does their job, makes a good job, people respect him, and doesn't break the law, then yes, they are fully integrated into the country. If a French person comes along, becomes a cunt, they're not fully integrated, they're pieces of shit. So it depends on the situation, right? But if you're a first generation immigrant and you work your ass off and you obey the rules and things like that, then therefore yes, I disagree on that, right? What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us? No, because corporations want free handles from the government. They want free money, and I don't agree with giving free money to anyone. If they fail, they fail. Fuck them. Someone else is gonna take their place. So I disagree on that, right? No broadcasting institution, however independent content, should not receive public funding. What do we mean by public funding? As in, no, that doesn't make any sense. If the government, if I, right, support, like, I don't pay anyone on Patreon because I don't spend money on most stuff. It's how I keep super frugal in my life, right? But I believe that that if you have the money to spend to support your local broadcasting institution, whomever it is, they should deserve public funding. They should be like, hey, listen, I respect you. I'm willing to pay $2.99 a month for your content, right? I'm willing to watch the ads. I'm willing to listen for 14 hours so you can get more ad revenue, right? Then therefore, no, I completely disagree, right? They should receive public funding, okay? Now, our civil liberties are being excessively curved in the name of counterterrorism. I strongly agree. It's fucking bullshit. A significant advantage of one party state is that it avoids all arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. I strongly disagree. I believe we should have more political parties, so we can choose. I'm not saying a two-party, because a two-party system is still too close, right? Malta's become more of like a two-party system where you choose either blue or red, right? I'm not being political, right? I'm with no one, okay? I'm saying this as an independent Maltese person who is talking to the previous and to the previous and future generations. Do not pick political parties because your friends chose to. Don't go for the main political parties, don't go for the main political parties because you were forced to, because your grandparents and your parents and your uncles and your sisters and your uncles and your kids vote for them, right? And don't throw away the vote, right? If you want to make a difference and you don't want to vote for the main political parties, vote for the smaller parties like ADPD, Imperial Malta, Volt, ABBA. I mentioned Imperial Malta and Normal Law is super controversial, but if you believe that political party matches your views, then give them the vote. That's pure freedom. You choose and you vote for what you want. Whatever happens, right? Will I choose for someone like that? Of course not. But as someone who lives in Malta, pays taxes, right, has a voice, has open opinions. If you don't want to vote for one, if you don't want to vote for A or B, you should be able to choose C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, anyone, right? So yes, so no, I strongly disagree. Okay, although the electronic age makes surveillance easier, no, I completely disagree on this as well, right? Governments can abuse your rights, right? If I say, right, that this government is wasting our tax money, obviously I'm saying it as hyperbole, right? Is wasting our tax money, is throwing innocent people in jail, is killing people. They can throw me in jail whenever I want to if they're corrupt enough. So no, I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. Death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Okay, but what counts as the most serious crime? Right, you have petty theft. I'm gonna tell you this: if you were a murderer and you go out of jail after 20 years and you don't do it again, then that's okay. But if you do it again, in my opinion, it has to be done, right? So I agree. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Strongly disagree. That's a bit awkward because, like, it depends, right? Like, there's no middle. So I disagree. Abstract art doesn't represent anything and shouldn't because strongly agree. Fuck them. Right? A fucking banana taped to a wall isn't worth millions. You know, actually, no. I'm curious. How much is that fucking banana art?
How dare you? You say bananas no worth $1 million. You dare
$120,000 for a
How
banana
dare
taped
you
to a wall.
question? How dare you question
what?
a
You know what?
simple
I'm
dot
going
on a
on Palma.
canvas be worth nothing?
I'm going on Palma. I'm going to see how much bananas cost at Palma.
Sir, that is the mystical banana of ancient Google
Shut the
Google
fuck up.
Ugo Jugu Bugu Ugo Gugu.
Okay, so I can buy a kilo of banana. There's normally like 5 bananas for €1.85.
No, do banana or not banana, do banana fake banana. Banana fake. Real banana is
So,
banana tape wall. Banana tape wall,
$120,000. Let me
banana.
get 120. Let's convert dollars to euro, right? So we convert $120,000 to euros. So it's $108,840. So 108,840 euro. Division by 1.85, which is 5.
How dare you say banana not worth banana?
That is 58 tons worth of 59 tons worth of bananas, right? That is the equivalent, right, of about 74 classic Volkswagen Beetles worth of bananas for a fucking banana taped to a wall.
Not good.
If that's
banana is very worth
if that's not
120,000.
stupidity, if that's not stupidity, I'm sorry. You shouldn't.
Banana
you
is
shouldn't
worth.
even think because your brain cells are wasting oxygen, right?
Sir,
For that humans have worked so hard for.
Sir, you are so wrong on so many levels.
You should apologize to a tree that's producing oxygen for your ass.
Sir,
right?
Banana resembles banana.
But obviously that's your opinion. Not a good one, but that's your opinion.
You understand I do not care about art.
But you do fart.
But you mentioned banana, and banana resembles banana.
عشان تخبى في صور ما عليك.
Bro, banana isn't abstract art. Abstract art is a simple dot on a canvas, and they say, "Oh, it's the universe."
Abstract. You know what? Let's search more abstract art, right? There's Alpha Phi. It's literally like a bunch of lines on a piece of white paper.
Yes, now that I agree is not worth $1 bajillion. Banana, on other hand, resembles banana, so is worth.
Alpha Phi painting. What's the cost of it? Doesn't tell me. I don't know how much it costs. It costs a fucking fortune for nothing, right? It's a waste of time to try and rehabilitate criminals. No. Oh, some criminals. Depends. But it's very, very small. Depends how bad the situation is, right? If you do it once, twice, if you do it once or twice, okay. But if you do it the third time, then you wasted your fucking money, right? The business person, the manufacturer, are more important than the writer or the artist. What do you mean by that? Technically, a writer can self-publish, but technically, a writer has to be a business person, and if you were an author like me, right, you have to go to a manufacturer, right, to self-publish. I self-publish my book, for example.
Sir, I tell you something which changes your view. Without a writer, there are no books.
AI.
Without writers, we wouldn't have AI.
Which makes a lot of sense, right? But
now, artists, I give zero fuck about them. But writers, if we don't have writers, we don't have books, and the books teach knowledge. Yes.
Which makes lots of sense, but
and the business persons and manufacturers need writers to write books for them.
I'm saying this both as someone who was who is an author and a business person, right? Who was a business person, right? For
They
me to be
both important.
for no,
That
they're
is
both important, but I don't
yes.
think an artist is important. So I strongly disagree. So I agree.
Yes, when I took quiz, I not care about artist. I only care about writer.
But there was one good artist, but I would not mention him because I'll be cancelled. You know.
No, you will be cancelled because you say abstract art is worthless, which I agree with.
But there's
But
people. No,
banana
no,
is
no.
worth one hundred
You
twenty
know, no,
thousand
no, no.
dollars.
You know what? If Love in Malta or Daily Malta or John Malia, right, ever want to like interview me for my opinions just for the fun of it, fuck it.
Heil Hitler.
Okay, no, no.
He is the greatest painter in the world. Fuck the Jews. The Jews ruined his career.
Oh no, no.
Here we are equal. We say anything we want because we are all equal. Me
Technically,
as a
yes.
Russian person, I can say that I drink vodka, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snack.
Me is number one mental supporter of 1981. No matter what war crimes he did, he's
So
good.
Hitler was the greatest painter. In my opinion, his paintings are very inspirational. Much better than Van Gogh. Heil Daddy Hitler, Heil Daddy Putin.
Okay, let's not. Okay, let's just continue with our shit. Okay.
Let's not go into political matters. Here we are family friendly channel.
Sort of, but anyway, as I was saying, mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Yes, but fathers as well, right? If you're a parent, male, female, whatever the fuck you want to identify, even a toaster, right? If you're a parent, your main priority is your family, right? Like a career is important, you need money, right? But you take care of your kids. So I strongly agree. To anyone, male or female, if the man, in my opinion, right, if the woman wants to work and the man stays at home and takes care of the kids, no problem. If the other way around, no problem. If both of them are extremely independently wealthy and they both retire early to take care of their kids, that's perfect, right? But that's my opinion, you know. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Now, look at this, right? There was, I believe it was a hand mined lithium, I think, right? Here, hand mined lithium iron, right? Look, like this is literally a slave mine. Apparently there's like 30,000 people working in these mines, hand mining, right? Even though they're being sold like all these electric battery companies, right? They're like, oh yeah, they're completely ethical, they're using machinery and things. No, it's not, right? Those people, right, who buy electric cars thinking they're doing good for the environment, they're not. They're doing worse for the environment and they're contributing to slavery. So yeah, fuck you, okay? As I was saying. So yeah, agree.
Yes, fuck you, little black children.
Oh,
Go
no.
work in the mines, you
Oh, no.
little rascals.
No,
Then
no,
come
no.
drink vodka,
No,
because
no.
vodka
No, no, no.
heals
Let
all
me tell you.
wounds.
There was, I think there was a state. I think there was a state that brought like child workers back in. U.S. state allowing child workers. Iowa and Arkansas. You can start working in Malta. So you can start working in Iowa and Arkansas, USA at the age of 14 to work in meat coolers and industrial laundries. And 15 years or older can work assembly lines around dangerous machinery. But that makes sense, right? If you have like the mental capacity to not fuck up, then you should work. Yeah, I completely agree, right? Now, making peace with the establishment is more important. No, fuck you. Now, astrology accurately. No, fuck you. You cannot be more.
How dare you say fuck you to astrology?
Fuck you.
I am offended. I am deeply offended.
I am a Sagittarius. You cannot judge me.
Yes, as a Sagittarius would say. And I would obviously disagree.
What is a what is a Sagittarius traits?
Yes, here we check on astrology, and Benjamin will realize that his traits are very similar to Sagittarius.
Okay. Sagittarius is a star. Is the star sign. The birthday. The dates between 22nd November, 21st December, and belongs
Oh
to
shit,
the
he has turned gay.
What is your problem, sir?
Sagittarius are never gay.
Gay Sagittarians.
Jesus Christ, no.
Charlie Puth, Chrissy Teigen, and Miley Cyrus. Fuck. Miley Cyrus, what the fuck?
Oh shit, Charlie Puto gay.
Sagittarians are the bright, breezy, adorable Tiggers to the zodiac, all big hugs, bouncy energy, and lots of laughs. They have zero filters, which makes them spontaneous, rude, honest, hilarious, and challenging. I am mentally challenged, thank you for noticing. If you know a Sagittarian, you'll know all about this. They'll all have said things to which scorched, but 5 minutes later, all is well again. You can't stay mad at them because they kidnapped your kids. Sagittarius are lively, passionate, smart, and more philosophical than their clown energy may hint at. They love to feel free and resist rules, regulations, constraints, and schedules. They just like doing what they do, and when they want to do it. They are born travelers, adventurers, explorers, and free spirits. They are ruled by Jupiter, which makes them all jammy so-and-sos who, no matter how absurd an escapade they pursue, often land on their feet and smelling of roses. I smell like shit when I fart. Sagittarians are great companions for wild weekends. To get an idea for a classic Sagittarian personality traits and types, we are only to look at some of the famous archers. Brad Pitt, Chrissy Teigen, Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, Britney Spears, Tyra Banks. These guys are never dull. Well, of course, they're rich. So, honest, adventurous, optimistic, independent, Miley Cyrus, and philosophical. Okay.
Which to a certain point, they do resemble you.
In what way?
Philosophical.
In what way? Everyone can be fucking philosophical, man. It's not fucking astrology wise.
Okay. Look up Cancer. Look up Cancer.
You have cancer. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker.
I'm joking, you dick.
Look at Cancer and fucking tell me that not resemble me.
Alright. I'm.
Yes, this turned into astrology. Ooh.
Typical sun in Cancer.
Boy, I is controlled by the moon.
Include being nurturing, sensitive, compassionate, self-protective, security-seeking, offering, loving, and displaying a goofy, romantic sense of humor. You're not goofy, you're boring.
A big parent of E equals MC squared and
I'm joking.
my cancer is turning into cancer.
Oh my god, man, my cancer just turned type 5. We're going turbo,
Shit,
baby.
my stern sign just became real.
Oh my god, bro. As I was saying, back to business, okay? You cannot be more without being religious. Well, you can, but if you're a religious person, right? Let's say in Catholicism or in any type of Christianity, because I cannot speak for Judaism and Islam and Buddhism, but I would really love to learn more about them in the future, right? the devil does not hate morals. It hates God. So basically, you can't be more about religion. So if you're a Christian person,
And the
right?
devil was once an angel.
So was Miley Cyrus, and now Miley Cyrus was once a good singer. And now she's a fucking floppy cunt. So shit changes.
And I fail to
So
see where that is my problem.
charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. I don't think so because they're both not good, right? Charity is bad because it damages small businesses that work in the industry, right? But at the same time, it helps people who are in need. But social security is bad because giving money to people who don't want to work. So I'm just gonna agree at least for this, right? Some people are naturally unlucky. I disagree. It's just you don't know how to take a bad situation and turn it on its head, right?
Jesus Christ, I feel offended by this one.
Okay, how?
Because I am naturally unlucky.
Prove it. You literally
Okay, I'll prove it, okay? So I bought a Lego set recently, yes.
Okay.
And you know how rare it is to find a missing piece.
Okay.
Guess how many missing pieces I had in this set?
4.
3.
Okay.
And I never had a missing piece.
Did you get shot by a? Did you get swallowed by a shark? Did you get bit by a shark while getting hit by lightning? While being shanked by a 4-year-old midget? Right? Like.
That's how I feel. Yes.
Okay. No. It's important that my child's school instills religious values. In my opinion, yes, but I don't believe it should force religious values on anyone. But in my opinion, if I had to choose religious values, if I were a Catholic, I'd take them to Catholic school. If I were Jewish, I'd put them to a Jewish school. If I were atheist, I'd put them to atheist school. If I was Scientologist, I'd put them to Scientologist school. So it depends on the situation.
I mean, there was a, Matthew, Chips Fat Fuck.
Yeah.
He is not Christian, yet we teach Christianity in our schools.
Yes, but at the same time.
Now that was his choice.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yuji took the wheel, drove over a cliff, and said, "Well, fuck, I don't know where I was supposed to go now."
Exactamundo, because I literally answered the same as you in that question.
Fucking.
And now we are in the spicy section.
Ooh, fucky.
Sex.
Butthole. Butt play.
Oh shit, we gonna get cancelled because we said sex. Oh no.
Oh no! You know.
Oh no, Austrian painter, help me, save me.
You were pissed me off. One of my most successful videos, which I've been having trouble with YouTube about it, they just removed me and given me a copyright strike because it's called Fat Armored Guy. Big Ben Experiments 2. Right?
The fuck?
Yeah. That video literally made me 700 views in like an hour, but they put it down back to 20 views. Went back up to 700 views again in 4 hours after. Went back up to 100. As soon as it was about to reach 300 views, copyright strike. No copyright.
What was the
strike.
reason for?
Inappropriate.
Bullying. To a certain point, it does make sense. I mean, you didn't put a bucket on top of your brother's head, and then you said, "Run, bitch, run!" As you pushed him, he fell off, saying, "Ouch!" And then you hear your brother Joel in the background, "Haha, fuck you, little bitch."
I got hit in the balls, bro. So I got bullied, but I'm the man making the content. So fuck you, YouTube.
Oh no, this is gonna get copyrighted strict.
YouTube, as I was saying, sex outside of marriage is not usually immoral. Disagree. It depends on the situation. If they're consenting, who gives a fuck, right? A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Yeah, of course, I strongly agree. If I think we should do tests on parents to see if they're actually loving enough to be parents, right? Not like gender exclusivity or like, oh my god, do they have like super vitamin protein natural pill bars? No, as in like, are you gonna love the child? Are you gonna give them a good education? Are you gonna focus on their needs? Are you gonna give them enough, good enough health? Are you gonna make sure that you're gonna give them the right emotional attention that they need and the right support system that they deserve? So yeah, it's not about if you're gay, straight, bi, toaster. If you're ready to be a great parent, I think you should deserve all the adoption you need. Adopt 50 if you want to, because what kids want right now is not who you fuck, right? But how much you can love them without being a fucking pedo. You know? Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Yes, why not? What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business. Yes, I strongly agree. Don't stalk me, right? What I do, right, with my body pillow.
But what if you are transferring DNA chip from your penis to your vagina? You secret spy.
What if you're like inserting like FBI Area 51 documents from your penis hole to her pussy? Like, what will happen after that?
Exactly.
Oh my god, it's like totally possible. It's not. They're fucking. Okay, if they're fucking, let them fuck. Right? Oh no, people are fucking stupid, right?
Bro, whoever answered disagree or strongly disagree in that question
Has a fucking fetish.
like you want to see other people
Like,
have sex?
oh yeah, I like that. Oh, look at that. Look at my FBI agent watching me get fucked in the ass. You know what I would do if I ever get late? I put the camera on, right? I'm about to start left baby. Oh, what easy, bro, you fuck, bro. But no, fuck no. I'm not gonna say I don't. I don't want drunk on my window going. I can see you fucking, bro. I think you should aim your penis by 15 degrees. No, unless you're paying, then fuck off. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone way too far. Extremely right. I don't think we should talk to kids about sex. Sex should be talked to by the parents or with their friends, but I don't think the school should teach that, right? The school should teach biology, not how you should give a blowjob to someone, straight or gay. Fuck no. Okay. So, strongly agree. Let's see where I stand. So, let's talk about the political compass test, right? So basically, left is more socialist communist, right is more capitalist, right? We have authoritarian, which means more support of the government, and libertarian down below is more about like anti-government things like that, right? We have left, which is very economically left. Look, we have like these basically things are here like. We have state-imposed collectivism, voluntary regional collectivism, state-imposed capitalism, and voluntary regional voluntarily regional capitalism, things like that, I believe, right? So, to see an example of countries, right, we have Korea, which is like completely state-imposed conventionalism, which makes lots of sense. That like fucking, it's literally North Korean communism, right? You have China, which is super authoritarian socialist. We have Saudi Arabia, which is super authoritarian right. We have Singapore, which is super authoritarian right. We have Switzerland, which is super right, slightly libertarian, and Uruguay, which is slightly less right but slightly less libertarian as well, right? Uruguay is ranked 44 of the most free economy and leading in Latin America in social freedoms, from gay and lesbian rights to legislation. Cannabis. Switzerland also has high rank as libertarian economy, while at the same time providing a wide range of social welfare programs in common from Nordic states and a number of Western countries. Okay, and yeah. Oh yeah, Switzerland also has a high rating of libertarian economy, while at the same time providing a wide range of social welfare programs in common with Nordic countries and a number of Western countries. Yeah, that's libertarian. Okay. Countries and boom. Okay. So I am economic left. So I am economically right by 1 bar. So I'm basically.
Boy, I told you.
And I am social.
Boy, I told you.
But I am social libertarian by 2.15.
You can tell me I was wrong.
You were slightly wrong, slightly right. Happy now?
I was right, little nigga.